Welcome to another Friday vlog. This is our esteemed co-host of the podcast, Chezz. For you listeners, I guess this is the first time we've been on video. In Columbus, we did a podcast. But we did a video a long time ago with another member of the community, Nate Wilson. We'll put the link down below. And in that video, he's a day trader, and he kind of walked us through a day of what it looks like for him from a day trading perspective. However, Chezz is not a day trader at all. Well, not at all. You do day trading, right? A little
just slightly.
Slightly. Mm-hmm. But his main kind of bread and butter is swing trading, but not swing trading necessarily with stocks, but with options. And given that we're doing a meet and greet for the Inner Circle community out in Denver, and that this is where Chezz is essentially living, I thought, hey, why not kind of have him speak to what his day looks like. So he's going to come along with us on our day. This is the official meetup, so we have a bunch of things going on. We're going to do Topgolf, and then later on do dinner. But dinner, the markets will be closed by then. But later on in the day, we'll check back with Chezz and kind of see where things are at while we're out there golfing. And just so you can see kind of how swing trading looks compared to more so a day trader. And when you're day trading, you're more so in front of your computer. You got to be there, pretty much the entire time, depending on exactly what you're doing. But with Chezz, he's more of a swing trader. So like I said, he's going to take us through his day. So I guess, Chezz, my first kind of question is, what exactly are you trying to accomplish swing trading wise in terms of time frame? Because swing trading can vary. So for your swing trading, what kind of time frames are you looking at in order to pull profits?
So kind of opposite to you, where you focus on the first 90 minutes of the day, I'm strictly looking at about the last hour of the day. So most of my swing trades are based on the daily chart. So while a daily candle might look great in the first hour of the day, by the end of the day it could look completely awful. Yeah. So I mainly focus on putting trades on and kind of spotting ideas in the last hour of the trading day. So that's for kind of idea creation. And then in terms of kind of checking in on them and stuff
my quick question, when you're doing that idea creation, are you by your computer for that, or is that something where you could be out on your phone doing something like that?
So a safe answer would be use your actual platform on a computer. You could do it on a laptop, you could do it on a tablet. On a phone, I'd say you're going to struggle a little bit because there's a couple columns I look at. There's a couple things, especially for advanced options, you want to check before you actually put the position on. So it'd definitely be easier to do it on a laptop or a tablet versus a phone. But in terms of management, you could absolutely pull it off on a phone. But I would stick to kind of using a computer for putting trades on.
So you are using the daily chart to get in, but could you do this from another time frame? Like if some people could potentially do it for the first hour, right? This is just your personal strategy.
Yeah, that's just my personal strategy.
Because I want to make sure that viewers aren't like, okay, so if I swing trade options, I have to do it the last hour of the day. That's not what you're saying. That's just what you're doing.
That's just something I do personally based on how I understand how candles are formed. So, but if you only had the first hour of the day, or better off, to be honest with you, if you could take a little bit of time at lunch to look at the daily, look at the candle there, I'd say you're in a better position. Most people get a lunch break.
Yeah.
But no, you could absolutely put them on. You could even spot them, at the end of the day, how that daily candle looked the previous day, and open the trade up the next morning. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. That's just how I personally do it.
And the point of this is not, this is how you need to do it. This is just how a swing trader does it. But remember, trading is all about, you got to learn the tools, but then you got to take those tools to build a strategy that best suits you. So your last hour of the day, how long are you looking for a trade to actually last as a swing trader? Are you a swing trader that you're looking to sell within multiple hours, multiple days, multiple weeks? What is your definition of swing trading?
So anything you're holding overnight, I always consider a swing trade. And the reason why I say that is, while most of my trades take about 2 to 3 weeks, 3 weeks is definitely on the longer range of things. Don't get me wrong, there's outliers like some current positions I'm in that have been longer than 3 weeks.
Which you may have to manage later on today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll check
back.
Yeah,
I definitely have to check in before the end of the day.
Yep.
But besides that, generally, there's some trades I'll put on where in one day I put on stuff for just the SPX or the general S&P market where it closes the next day, just based on I looked at the daily candle, had a thesis, put the trade on. The next day, I get a ding, and it's closed out. But most of my trades, I'd say, generally take about 2 weeks. That's the time frame I'm looking for.
Okay, so 2 week. But again, it's not like a swing trade. It has to be 2 weeks. This is just what he's doing now. Mm-hmm. Are you within the options? And I mean, I don't want to confuse viewers, but are you looking to capture the entire profit potential, or are you looking to pull them off at 50%. I mean, where is your kind of broad-based rule in terms of?
So for different option strategies, there's strangle straddles. There's a whole bunch of funny names that sound overly complex.
Reverse monkey twist.
Yes, reverse monkey twist. The upside down pull up, all this kind of stuff like that. So they have various ones, and there's math behind it on where is a safe way to kind of capture. What's the easiest way to capture the profit and then redeploy your capital? Most of the time, I'm looking to capture about 50% of the credit I receive. So the thing is, that's why the trades I put on technically have a 45-day length. But my trade, since I'm only looking to capture 50% of it, can close in 2 weeks. It's just better, if I could do that twice in a 45-day cycle.
Right, the time value of money.
Exactly.
And I'm kind of over here grinning. I guarantee you there's people that pause the video right now and are Googling, what did we just call it, reverse monkey pull-up bar. They're Googling it right now thinking, what are these people talking about? So that was just a joke, okay?
Proprietary options trading information.
I'll tell you my favorite one is the blue polar bear, okay? That's a really good one. But
it's a secret, though.
It's a secret. Yeah, it's a holy grail, but it's a secret. So how many trades do you usually have on? Well, in our community, we call this option farming because what he's looking to do is not like a day trade. Things take time to develop. So how many crops, if you will, and how many positions do you have on at a single time?
So currently I have 4. I'd probably say the average for me is closer to 8 to 12. 16 is on the high end, but right now I only have 4. We just got through an earnings season, so now it's time for me to look for new trade ideas going into the next week. So I knew I'd be traveling today and stuff like that, so I was going to strictly focus on managing, and then on Monday when I'm back at the desk, I'll look for more idea creation.
Okay, and then for your for the options that you have on, let me rephrase this. Options season is over, and earning season is over. So your earnings trades are pretty much, the next day. Blowfish, boom.
They're a hit or miss. They last a day, or if everything goes completely screwy, then you're gonna roll it into a longer 45-day type trade. But however, those earning trades are meant to be get in them fast and then get out, and that's why the reason why going into those seasons, I don't have these positions that I'm going to carry over because I don't hold through earnings unless it is strictly an earnings trade.
Sure.
If it's not an earnings trade,
there you go.
and I actually prefer not to trade earnings, but you kind of have to. They happen 4 times a year.
Yep.
If I completely avoided them, I'd be sitting on a lot of capital for no reason when I know the odds. I've seen this for a good couple seasons, and while it doesn't always go the way you want it, the winners definitely pay for the losers.
Yeah, and that's I laugh and it makes me a jerkish way, but you know where I'm going with this. Is the first time you started doing earnings was like, what was it?
We called it 2 Sigma Summer.
Yeah, 2 Sigma, where things were just going crazy, and it really gave it was a sample size of 1, but it was just like for me, I'm still kind of scarred by it because I saw what happened, and I'm just like, but I definitely come kind of full circle where that was an outlier, so you can't base everything based on that.
Yeah, so 1 quarter's earning, the whole year, so 4 quarters were just completely crazy. And then for the next 2 years after that, almost everything's been in line. There's been nothing crazy like that at all. But that just happened to be the first year that we really started paying attention to them. And I called it 2 Sigma Summer because it was no fun.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But now you've been doing this for a couple years now with the. I know in your podcast you had to pause for a while because you had a wedding to pay for and stuff like that. But things are going back.
Oh yeah.
And I guess what do you think is probably the best part about the swing trading the options? Is it the freedom that you don't have to be tied down to your computer? I mean, I guess what would you say is the most beneficial thing from your perspective?
So absolutely, it was when I first got into trading is because it was challenging to me to kind of figure out which way the market was going to go. Then the longer I did it, the more I realized that the real benefit of being able to leave kind of a 9-to-5 job, and I'm not advocating that you have to leave a good, comfortable job that you like. I really disliked my job, and a lot of people probably feel the same way. The thing for me is that I wanted to not be chained to my desk. I wanted to be able to go out and go skiing. I wanted to go hiking. I wanted to go camping. I wanted to go rafting. I wanted to be able to go outside and let the kind of market, I wanted to do my homework at the desk and then leave the desk and let the homework work out. Because I'll tell you this, and this especially applied to me in day trading, the more I tinker, the worse I kind of screw stuff up. Because more often than not, your first idea is the best idea. If it's wrong, it's wrong. End it and we move along. But so with these advanced options trades, I can literally set them and go out into the woods for 5 days. Don't get me wrong, I should check them every single day. Right. But in the event I don't, there's always, the whole thing is managed. My losses are capped from the onset. My profit targets are set. And, it's kind of, I call it, it's more hands-off trading. And that's kind of what I always want to do.
Right. And what I want So you said you wanted to go skiing, go out into the woods. I know you like to just do outdoorsy stuff. And I bring that up because I know a lot of stuff out there on YouTube is like, I quit my job and there's my Lamborghini and there's my yacht over there.
I'm sitting on the beach
drinking
a
that's
Corona.
not what Chezz is saying. Think about what he's saying. He's going out into the woods. So, I mean, it's not like he's sitting here portraying he quit his job and he's making millions of dollars. No. That's not what we're advocating at all. We're just saying that he's got, he's got something that's giving him freedom to do that sort of stuff. But his freedom is not like, the typical late night mark, what freedom would be in terms of, all the...
Here's my jet.
Yeah, none of that stuff. So, I mean, just if your definition of I want to drive a Lamborghini or not, then... I suppose that could possibly be possible, but you would need a whole lot more capital and take on huge amounts of risk, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I want to tell, it's absolutely a slower way to get a return on your capital. However...
Slower. So this is not anything get rich quick, right? Overnight, right?
But here's the thing, slower, I still made, and granted this is just a sample size of 1 year, I made 30% of my entire account value last year to the point where it was enough to help me pretty much put down a ton of money for my house. Yep. So that's kind of a thing that's, if you're scoffing and making 30% in a year, you're crazy.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, exactly. But also, just keep that, it's not like you're sitting here saying that you were operating a $10 million hedge fund.
No,
making 30%.
No, absolutely not.
So, yeah. But I mean, it was also more than, a $500 account too. So, I mean, so don't hear 30% and think, well, that's because he could have been using $100 and made $30 on it. Well, no, it was bigger than that, but we're also not sitting here trying to make it sound like he's, some sort of
I didn't make 4,000%. And don't get me wrong, day trading, you can absolutely generate great percent returns. But the thing is, my consistency was just lower. And personally, I just like to, like you said, get out, go out, and not be kind of chained to the desk.
Yeah. So with that, we got some golfing to do.
Yeah.
We're gonna touch back in with Chezz at Top Golf, kind of talk with him there, and then we'll come back here and wrap things up. So we are here at Top Golf right now, and this is something where it's literally happening right now. Chezz, as we already discussed, has open positions from the swing trading perspective, as we call it, options farming. He's got your phone with you, like you're saying you use. So I guess what exactly are you checking? What exactly are you looking for right now? In kind of like the middle of the day right now.
So this is kind of a unique day in terms of me checking this on the go. This would actually be a day where I'm going to roll some positions out before the market closes, but normally it's just making sure that nothing is kind of fallen apart and gone completely nuts. With the way technology is nowadays, you can always set alerts, so I can always have my phone tell me. Yesterday I was on a rafting trip in Utah and my phone dinged out of my life jacket and I got to fill on a position and made money on that. So that's the kind of nice thing about options farming, is that I don't have to specifically be sitting there watching it minute by minute. However, I always check it at least once a day. I usually do that around lunchtime, and then if I ever am going to take anything off or manage anything, I do it towards the end of the day.
So Mike, sorry to...
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
So what dings? Like what could be dinging? You said you got a position filled. What else might make your phone ding?
So with these options, if I say I don't want to break a certain support level and I really want to have it on watch, I'll get a price alert for it going under that. But more often than not, since I set these positions, I set the target I'm going for, whether it's 50% of profit or 25% profit on the positions I open. Those are resting orders that are sitting there, and when they fill, I literally just get a notification and I go, oh, that's nice, I made some more money. So it's nice. Don't get me wrong, it's not all flowers and daisies all the time. However, those are the nice things to get. The ones where you have to manage them, a little bit more to deal with, but you can still do the whole thing from your phone. It's great for folks who don't want to be completely tethered or have a full-time job.
Right.
It really takes a little bit of time at lunch and you're pretty set.
So I just want to reiterate, because like you said, it's not always butterflies and sweet little grandmas and all that sort of stuff. So when stuff does go wrong, in this setting, you would still be able to handle everything from the phone, right?
In fact,
today, after we turn the camera off, I am going to manage 2 positions and rolling them out as a form of options defense. But yep.
Okay, so this is real in the sense of you need to do some defense because things aren't quite going your way.
Yep.
But and the other nice thing about options is the way you form the strategies is I'm assuming you're still having a good time. It's not like
absolutely. I'm not.
Yeah, it's nothing
hey
like
guys,
that.
I'm so glad we're at Top Golf and I'm having the an awful time. No, not at all. I think I'm up $50 on the day right now already, and all I've been doing is swinging a golf club with you guys. So.
Okay, but there are some things that are not quite going right now. But just with the way options work, from a perspective, time is a big function of options.
Oh, yeah.
And because now you're rolling up, so you're giving yourself more time?
I'm giving myself more time, yeah. So these positions have been on for a good couple weeks now.
One of them Facebook, is it?
Facebook is, Facebook and IBM, IBM, of course.
Yes.
But no, so the whole thing, in a perfect world, I'd like to do it on a computer because I could just make a few clicks and do it. I can still do the same thing on a phone. I just prefer doing more adjustment type things on a computer. However, I'm out and about. We're in the field today.
Right.
I'm still going to be able to do it, no problem. The technology is there nowadays. There's no reason why you couldn't do it.
And just to reiterate, and not that Chezz has done this, but we're not trying to come across like trade options, you can go golfing, make millions of dollars. No, as he admitted, he has some problem positions, but that's the whole point of options trading and swing trading is when you have strategies, you can have problem positions and still make things, work out for you. But, it's the more so not ball and chain where you got to be right at your computer. As he admitted, ideally, right, you'd like to be at your computer, but it's not like it's do or die or anything like that.
Correct. But yeah, I think the real benefit is for folks who aren't able to. Say you work a full-time job, it starts at 9 to 5, the market opens at 9:30. You can't be sitting at your desk at work, day trading with your boss walking around and stuff like that. This would just be you go out to lunch at noon, check on your stuff, open new positions, do whatever, and you can do the whole thing from your phone if you really needed to.
And then my last question, because again, we're having fun, so how long is it going to take you to do what you need to do on your phone? When you do these
conservatively, I'll say less than 7 minutes.
Okay.
It'll probably take me in total 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes, and so it's not like you need a whole bunch of time.
Nope. Not at all. Cool. I already know what I'm going to do, and all I got to do is just click a couple buttons.
And you know what you're going to do just because that's part of your mechanical strategy that you have. And
things go wrong, I do X and then I do Y, and you just keep doing that.
And are you using charts at all at this point, or is this all just based on?
So this is just strictly based on the options chain,
okay.
But I know what the chart looks like. The chart to me is much more important at the onset of the trade.
Okay.
Because that's when I think it really takes the most precedence. However, things change, but like I said, that's just part of checking and managing. And like I said, you can do that all from your phone as well.
Exactly. And what app are you using to do all this?
So I trade with Tastyworks for my options trading.
Okay.
There's a good couple of folks who've gotten Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade their rates down. I personally still think Tastyworks, I don't have to haggle, I don't have to do anything.
Yep.
There's a commission on only one side of the trade, and they're actually capped. So there's actually a max if you trade like a big size and have a big account.
Awesome. And we'll catch up with Chezz later on in the day. Like I said, we wanted to make this a real life kind of let's go through a day with Chezz, and we'll see how things turned out later on in the day. But we got to go swing some clubs some more.
Yes, we do. It's about to start the fierce competition.
It is. The competition is starting soon. We are back from Top Golf. Chezz, that was a pretty good time.
It was. You did a lot better than I did, though.
I did. This is take number 2. Let's just be honest. This is take 2. We just said it, so. But let's just keep it honest because it seems so scripted. But yeah, I see now. If I say my line, it's so disingenuous. Every blind squirrel finds a nut. But anyways, Robin, thank you for the tips. She was a member. It's really cool. You meet people from all different walks of life, and Robin, who's been around for a long time, nice to meet her. But I don't know. She used to work for the Olympics, and she did, and she gave out a bunch of great pointers. And it was a good time. But as you saw, Chezz, did you make your adjustments?
I did. I only had to adjust one of them, though. The other two were absolutely fine.
It was IBM and Facebook, right?
Facebook is the one I had to adjust. IBM was doing just fine.
Okay.
I did take a look at them all, but yeah. I did have to roll one of them.
Now, you said 7 minutes. That was your estimate. What was the actual time?
So since it was only one of them, it took like 4 minutes.
Okay.
And I was on Wi-Fi at Top Golf, so it was just bing, bing.
And
done and done.
Done and done. Mm-hmm. And I guess you'll check back in Monday morning or Monday. When do you? I guess I never asked you that in our first segment. When will you recheck that adjustment you made? So we'll use this Facebook as kind of the baseline. When do you check back in with that?
So I'll be at the desk on Monday morning, so I'll take a look then. But honestly, it's out. It wouldn't matter. I look at it again at the end of the day. That's when I'd really count. I'd make sure that things are getting really screwed up.
And I guess be honest, but the weekend is here. The markets are closed.
Mm-hmm.
So are you stressed at all? Are you going to be able to sleep okay over the weekend? You're
no,
not
I'm
stressed
actually
about
going to
anything?
chew all the skin off my lip, and I'll be all bloody in the morning and stuff like that, and people think I've had some kind of crazy accident. But no, yeah, I sleep like a baby. Like I said, I know the beautiful thing about education and just knowing what you're doing is that I am totally comfortable in just about any situation that's thrown at me at this point now, which is nice because it's just all mechanical, and you just, if X happens, you do Y. Simple as that.
Just plan the system the plan.
Plan the trade the plan.
Yeah.
That sounds a little better.
I try to get fancy, get it backfired on me.
But
fancy. Yeah, I just so hopefully you enjoyed that coming along with us. But I think that's what's awesome about day trading, or not day trading, but swing trading, is that it really does open it up. And I was keeping a little closer eye on him because I'm like, I want to make sure that he's not like always checking his phone and stuff like that, because I don't want to tell people like, yeah, you don't have to check it that often, when in all actuality you do. But Nate, did you ever see him on the phone at all?
I didn't. No.
Twice a day is all you really need to do.
And I didn't see him on his phone much either.
And a serious look.
Yeah. If any of you that were there at the meetup want to call him out, but I'm pretty sure that he was not on his phone like between every swing, because he was freaking out about this stuff. So
I was just going for the fence the whole time and coming up way short.
Way short. Yeah. But so if you have any questions for him or whatever, I mean, there's a high probability that if you go to claytrader.com and use a little chat box, that not for sure, but odds are you'll probably talk with him. Mm-hmm. So if you want to speak with him directly, if you're curious about anything that he's doing or anything that we offer, then, or I mean, in all actuality, if you want to talk to Chezz, just say, I'd like to talk with Chezz, and if it is me that happens to be there, I'll just assign the thing over to him.
Just say, Clay, go away.
Yeah,
and I'll assign it to me.
I want to talk about exactly. So that's a way that you can speak to him directly. I guess if you want to leave comments, you can. We love comments, but if you're a fan of efficiency, then just use the chat box and you can talk with him through there. I mean, do you have any final words before wrapping up that we might have left off?
No, I just think that some people say, oh, trading isn't for me. Honestly, I think there are so many different ways to trade, and I'm talking about you can go from grandma and grandpa mutual funds that you don't check it for 40 years to you could be sitting there watching, 10-second charts. It all depends what you want, and there's just a spot for everybody in the market if you really want to be there. So you learn what to do, execute the plan.
Can I disagree with you a little bit?
Sure.
Now, maybe not necessarily what you want, but what you can handle. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that. That's a good correction.
Because I wanted to make a lot of money with Bitcoin, but I don't think I could have handled waiting that whole time.
Should have bought the dip.
Yeah, should have bought the dip. But so yeah, focus on what you really can handle. How do I know that? Well, welcome to the challenge of trading. Why we always tell people that if you're getting into this for the money, you're going to burn out, because you have to enjoy the challenge of it, or else you have no chance. Because you got to really figure out what you can handle. Because yeah, sure, we all want to make money overnight, but that's just not the reality of the matter. So yeah, good talking point there. And if you enjoyed this, click that like button. If you want us to try to make more of these kind of documentary, I'm using that term very loosely, type videos. Did I just insult you, Nate? No. You can talk. It's a vlog,
Not at all.
Nate.
No, he can put that on his LinkedIn.
I'm not used to talking.
Filmmaker, documentary.
Yeah.
Documentor.
Documentor,
yep.
There we go. But yeah, if you want us to make more of these, click that like button, leave us comments below. We'll try to. We have another trader that trades pretty similar to him, actually in Michigan, that we could probably haul down and maybe do something like this with him. But if you like these, just let us know. But Chezz, thanks for letting us see inside of your world.
Of course.
And much different from Nate Wilson. Nate Wilson, we had to go into his office where his computer is. But with Chezz, I mean, when you can carry your computer around with you, definitely a totally different type of style of thing.
If we had time for more B-roll, I would have taken you skiing and down a raft and all that kind of stuff. But we'll save that for another
time.
Follow-up.
Exactly. So yeah, we will see you back next week.